Well, today on the Boiling Point, we're going to be talking about number 2 fuel oil and how this propane helps light the Pilot. Hey Ray, what you got here?
Putting a propane tank on this rental boiler, Ritchie.
Okay.
Pilot.
Well, now this is Ray Barmore. Ray Barmore has been with the company for 32 years, former technician, now into the rental division, wealth of knowledge, and actually retiring in March. So we're pretty sad that you're going to be leaving. So
sorry to hear that.
we're trying to get you to stay. But you're putting on this Propane Pilot. Tell me a little bit about what you need the Pilot for, Ray.
Well, the propane Pilot's only needed when you're burning number 2 fuel oil.
Okay.
So it's a Pilot fuel source because we don't have direct spark ignition on these burners.
Okay.
They're dual fuel burners. They'll burn gas or number 2 oil. But when you're burning number 2 oil, you have to have a Pilot fuel source.
All right.
So we opt to use propane.
That looks like a grill tank.
And it is. It's
Okay.
It's a 20-pound piggy tank.
All right.
And it's more than enough to light this boiler, to light the Pilot on this boiler if you're not rapidly cycling the boiler, which you shouldn't be doing anyway.
Okay.
But from time to time, a load falls off and the boiler's got to shut off. So this is used to start the boiler only.
Okay.
So when the boiler goes into a pre-purge, then once it's pre-purged, drops back down to low fire position, then it brings on your Pilot, does a Pilot proving trial, and once it's got a stable Pilot, it'll bring on the oil valves, and that's the purpose of that, to have a stable source of ignition before you administer the oil to it.
Okay.
Then after it stabilizes the main flame, it'll shut the Pilot valve off.
All right.
Then it'll go into a low fire hold till our low fire hold pressure switch is made. Then it'll go on and drive up to full modulation.
Okay. So the propane tank, I mean, this is a 20-pound cylinder?
It's a 20-pound, and typically most of our smaller units, that's all they'll use. They'll use a 20. And they'll have a spare 20 in case they do get into cycling or a long-term rental.
Okay.
But typically a 20 is going to start this unit, start the Pilot on it, 30 or 40 times easy.
Oh, okay.
So
all right. Well, that's good.
You'd be surprised. It's not going to cycle that much if it's properly sized.
Okay. All right. And typically on a Firetube unit, we'll go with a 20, but on a Watertube, how big are those?
The Watertube's got quite a lot bigger Pilot assembly. Even the piping's larger on it. But we recommend they put a 50 or 100.
Okay.
If you put a 100-pounder on, it should be plenty for them. To do a 50, we recommend to have a 50 and a spare.
All right. So now kind of getting into the guts of how this works from a pressure standpoint, how much pressure is actually needed at the burner side?
It's going to vary on the Pilot. Typical rule of thumb is you want to be a tenth to 2/10 of an inch over your low fire wind box to establish a good Pilot.
So on a Firetube, wind box pressure is about?
1 to 3 inches.
Okay.
Depending on the size of the Firetube.
Okay.
Each burner is going to be different. A power flame is going to be different than a Limsfield or an IC.
Right.
But typically that kind of information is available through our startup sheets, and we can reference that to people.
Okay.
Some of our later model higher pressure units and the Limsfield, we have them tagged on the trailer, maximum inlet pressures and stuff.
Okay. Well, there you have it. Anytime you're burning gas, you don't need the propane, but with number 2, obviously you need to do that for a Pilot.
You need a Pilot source.
And you need a Pilot source, and that's what this is for. So we'll see you next time on The Boiling Point. Well, I love hanging out with guys like Ray, 32-year veteran of the boiler industry. We got a lot of those guys around here, and we can just get tons of knowledge from them. I certainly appreciate everything that he does. Makes our job a lot easier. Make sure you like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to that YouTube channel. If you like our videos, please share them. We'll see you next time on The Boiling Point.